nutrition. But every month we have something different that benefits our community and our audience. CCA focuses on something that happens and affects all of us as Caribbean people. Disaster relief. We have a medical mission team. We have a math tutorial program for children who are underperforming in mathematics. And we also have immigration classes for some of our people who are resident green card holders but lack the classes and doesn't have the income to get legal help. So we work with CARE, Council of American Islamic Relations, and we teach classes right here. So if anyone needs classes, they can see me afterwards. But let me just briefly for the next half a minute, just talk a little bit about our disaster relief. Every year, there is a hurricane in somewhere in the Caribbean. It is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and who is going to be the victim. Haiti has been a victim, Dominica has been a victim, all of us. All those islands, all of our islands are interrelated and interdependent. But one thing is sure, when a hurricane hits, Tampa Cares get together to collect, assemble, and deploy items to that nation, regardless and in spite of. So I said to Judith, why wait until the hurricane hits? Why don't we become as a group proactive enough to start preparing for that which we know must come? And so CCA already has in storage 4 barrels full of items in Ziploc bags labeled pregnant mothers, babies, teenagers, whatever it is that we get, hygiene items. So today I implore us, we need to start thinking about how, whether you're the Dominican Association or the CCA or the Asian African American Foundation, whoever we are, let's start teaming up and plan to fight the disaster and win when it happens, because it will happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, I'll take that back. Thank you so much for that important information. So we just saw some folks walk in. If you have an extra seat at your table, can you raise your hand? We got some folks coming in. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for coming. All right, next we have Donald Jackson of 99.1 FM WJM in St. Pete. He has a brief remark for us. Is Donald here? While we wait for him to come up. All right. Okay, while we wait on Donald, we'll call Ruben Alimar about Pickley's. He's going to talk about that organization. Ruben? Hi. Once again, folks, if you're coming in, we have plenty of seats. Just grab one. If you have an extra chair next to you, just raise your hand. I think we have some seats here for folks to sit down.
We'll take a few pictures. We'll get some.
Glad to see it's a full house.
But when tropicals
Ruben,
are
thank
playing,
you for coming up to
we're
speak
gonna
to us.
more videos.
Okay.
But we can do some individual photos.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ruben Alimar.
Oh.
In case you can't tell, I'm Haitian deep inside. And I've been told that by many of my Haitian friends who've known me for about 10 years
No,
now.
I don't think so.
When I first got involved going to Haiti after the earthquake. I'd like to, instead of giving a presentation, just read a note that I wrote to myself after my first day in May of 2010 going with the group there. The paper I called, entitled Haiti, A Country of Despair and Hope. I knew things were going to be different when I got off the airplane and into the bus queue, heading towards baggage claim.
Yeah, my daughter's.
There was a haze in the air, like I had been transported into Los Angeles in the worst of its smoggy days. There were armed security guards everywhere. I wasn't sure if they were police or military personnel. As we got started leaving the airplane, I saw a Brazilian flag, followed by a French one, and lastly a Canadian flag. And in the Canadian camp, they were playing volleyball. So far, okay. It seems okay. Then in the distance, I see an American and Haitian flag hanging side by side. My first introduction to Haiti was that beautiful heat. As I'm standing there in the bus, sweat is just pouring down me like I'm walking through water. There's no air conditioning on the bus, and even though the windows are open, the air that's coming into the bus is just hot. It's like walking into a shower with the water, and the sun was out as a beautiful blue sky, but the humidity was like making me melt. We got dropped off at the airport terminal, and we went to go pick up our luggage. Went through immigration, got a cart to carry my 180 pounds worth of luggage with me, had food, water, my camera equipment, and this was my first experience as to how things are really done, or were done back then. They improvise. The carousel was not working. So basically they had baggage handlers coming in, they'd lift the bag, say, "Who does this belong to?" "Nobody? Okay, boom." And then they go back and go get another one. And I'm just laughing because it's like I've never seen that in all my life. At the end of it, I'm sitting there going through all the luggage, trying to find my stuff, and I found it. After that part, I was asked when I returned, what one word would I use to describe my trip? And the word I use is maddening. To my senses, to my life experiences, I had never been exposed to anything like that in my life. It was one of the most painful things I've ever seen and inside endured. I went into physical, of course, because of the heat, but psychological shock as well. When we got out of the airport, picked up, went through everything, and I get to the gate, and I'm waiting for the group of people who I was supposed to meet there to show up. And here's this gate. People are standing about 5 deep. Their faces are pressed against the gate. They're asking for food. They're asking for money. They're asking for any help you can give. And I'm sitting there by myself, first time there, going, they're telling me to move along. And I'm like, move along to where? My ride isn't here. Ultimately, my friend Rose, who had gotten me to go on the trip, showed up with her driver, her team, and she's just laughing her full head off because she saw the look on my face. She saw the sweat just pouring off of my head. And she was just laughing. She says, "Come on, Ruben, let's go." And I'm like, okay, go where? So we grabbed the stuff, put it in the back of the truck. Now, I don't know how many of you were in Haiti right after the earthquake. But I know as we pulled out of the airport, once again, I'm completely and totally shocked. I'm seeing houses, businesses, simply collapse. On the right-hand side, where the airport normally would have its traffic, row upon row of tents. People there in their tents. You see little kids playing. People standing by just waiting for something to happen. The drive from the airport to our home base in Delmas gave me my first taste of what really had happened there. Unless you've seen it firsthand, it's one thing to look at one picture and say, oh wow, that was really destroyed. But it's another to actually be there with your feet on the ground, wondering, what am I supposed to do here? You know, I went as a photographer and I wondered, what am I exactly going to do to impact the team with this visit? I'm here to take pictures. I wasn't prepared for this. We ultimately got to our home base. It was a home for a gentleman by the name of Mr. Pione. He was our host. And when we arrived to the house, you know, I'm sure all of you have seen houses like walls are like this. This house, the walls were like that, at an angle. Nice big holes in the roof. So we decided to pitch our tents in the driveway. Because there was no way I was going to stay in that house, because I was afraid if there is one more earthquake, that's falling down on top of me. So our host was taking around and having us visit the property, and he had a very large yard. And in the yard, it was filled with families living in tents and underneath it, giant tarps all over the place. Another shock was watching the children sleeping on cinder blocks with a piece of plywood and foam. I don't know how that works. I have no idea. I'm sleeping in a tent that I brought. You know, I brought a little air mattress. I'm comfortable. Granted, no air conditioning. So I'm going to wrap this up because I know I'm using up a little bit of time. Near the end of the evening, as we're sitting and having our dinner of beef jerky, nuts, and Gatorade, which stuff we brought with us, we're sitting there and talking amongst ourselves. And the weirdest sound came out. Singing. The people in the camp had gathered together and were singing. So we got up and went and looked to see what was going on. We were told by our interpreter that every night,
One more minute.
every night they would have a different minister do a church service. As we sat there listening and watching, there was a big transformation. Because these people were praising the Lord in the midst of destruction. And they were filled with joy at being together as a community. And that's the one thing that left me. Even though their bodies had been broken, their homes had been destroyed, their spirit remained very, very powerful and uplifted. And that is what has drawn me on multiple trips to Haiti. Thank you.
Thank you, Rufus. That was amazing. Thank you so much. All right, Eileen, you're next. You got some to introduce us to someone else?
Okay, we are moving on to next with our friends of Haiti. We have Dr. Melvin James, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about mental health. Where's this? Dr. James, there you go. Thank you, thank you.
Hello, how's everybody doing? You look so sad. I mean, what's going on? This is a happy day, all right? Okay, so what's the most important word that pertains to all of us here today? One word that summarizes our life. Any guesses? It's one word. Huh? Word, one word. Word. Stress. How many people have experienced stress this week? Put your hands up. Only about 5 people have been stressed this week? No, I think much more than that. All right? Okay, good. Basically, stress kills. Stress is any demand on your body. So, if you're in church every night, are you stressed? Yes, you are. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's putting a lot of strain on your body. And what happens when we're stressed is that the chemicals in our body that begin to destroy our organs, our heart, our liver. Okay? It affects our immune system. That's why when you and I are stressed, we get a cold so often. Because we cannot fight it. So especially as black and brown people, we have an additional stress for all of us. Which is not just a fact of life. Okay? That's one reason why our life expectancy here in the US is much less than the rest of the population. Because stress destroys the body. So we have to take care of ourselves. All right? How do we take care of ourselves when we're stressed? What do we do? Somebody tell me. What do you do when you're stressed? Huh? Don't say anything? Okay, that's one thing. What else? Exercise. Exercise, walk. Okay. All of these things help. Okay. But it's important to get professional help. When your car breaks down, what do? You call your mechanic because he or she knows how to fix it. So even here in Tampa right now, there are at least 15 mental health agencies, and there are dozens of private people in practice. What I want to leave with you today is take care of yourself. Protect yourself. Get help. And the last thing, when I talk to people about getting help, they say, well, I want no medication. No medication whatsoever. Well, your body, my body, is all chemicals. Okay? And all that medication does is replace the chemicals that are missing. So if I'm feeling depressed, I'm missing some medication, that's what I get. Okay? So if you get anything from today is, when you're sad, when you're depressed, when you're crying, you can't sleep at night, your body's speaking to you to say, get some help. And there are tons of help in the country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. All right, next we're going to a brief intermission. I just want to share some housekeeping rules with you. We do have some food available Haitian food available for $10. You can pay at the front over there. The kitchen is right there, and the bathroom is over there. And also to stay in touch, we have these documents that you could fill out to share with the organization, HAFTB, so that we can stay in touch. And you can also go to their website, www.haftb.org. That's on your table if you want to share your information. And we're having a brief intermission right now. Again, food is in the kitchen. You can pay for it at the front. I see some folks just walked in. We do have some more seating available in this area here. If you have an empty seat, please raise your hand to welcome folks here into this room. All right.
As part of the intermission, we're just gonna.
First person. Oh. First, say your name. What's your name?
My name is Micheline. Did you say when was it? 1804. January. May 5th. May 18th. May 18th and 1804.
All right. And where are you from?
Tampa.
New Tampa. Are you a patient? Which part of Haiti? Okay, good stuff. We have a gift for you.
All right.
Thank you so much for participating.
All right, you guys give our hand a round of applause. You got that answer right.
Do you have another trivia question we can ask?
Okay. All right. So who? Hello.
Mic check.
Mic check. Am I good? All right. Hello. Maybe I'm not. I got a good one. All right. I have a good one. All right. So who can name the founding fathers of Haiti? Name 4.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
If you get 3, you get the prize. The founding fathers of Haiti. I think we got someone here. Wait. Stand up and please tell us your name.
My name is Carol.
Okay, Carol.
Well, I'm going to celebrate Jean-Jacques Dessalines and stuff. I wait to start.
Okay, good. She named 3. Someone can name 4. The 4th one, if not, it's going to go to Carol.
Good job, Carol.
All right, good job, Carol. Can you please give Carol a round of applause, please?
All right. I think we have time for one more. So if you give away another gift, I like giving gifts away. All right, so what is the original name of the island that Haiti sits on? Haiti shares that land with another country. What is the name of the whole island? Oh, who raised their hand first? All right. Hi, sir. What's your name first?
Stephen.
Stephen. All right, where are you from originally?
Tampa.
Tampa. All right, good, good. What's your answer?
Hispaniola.
Correct. All right. Are you of Haitian descent?
I am. My mother's Haitian.
Awesome. All right, we got a gift for you.
All right, round of applause for our Stephen.
Oh, your mom's name's Claudia too? Oh, we talk on the phone all the time. Okay. Pleased to meet you. We've been talking on the phone all the time. Thank you. Oh, Maureen, this is your food here. Raise your hand. Yes, there she is. Thank you. Okay, you got your gift.
Let's take some pictures.
Thank you so much, you guys, for a little participation.